Right, hello everyone, welcome back. Another week in production line land. Loads of stuff has changed, loads of stuff has gone in. If you've never heard of the game, this is basically a car factory simulation game that is in alpha at the moment, although you can buy it and play it. And big factories look like this. My current factory that I'm working on. We don't have a new version out yet, but it will be out soon-ish, hopefully next week, and that will be version 1.15. I have to break save games. I just do because of the number of changes that I've made, and I am sorry about that. So earlier save games, you won't be able to load. It won't let you load them either. It will sort of say unsupported version. So you will have to start again. The minute I start doing a video, I don't notice tiny little bugs. Anyway, so I'm sorry about that, but you know, it's in alpha, it kind of has to be done. There's a lot of stuff on the way. New car models are on the way. They won't be in the next version, but they might be in the version after that. The achievement artwork will be coming. Something that is actually new is, look, we have little tutorial pop-ups. So they're new. It's not a complete interactive tutorial yet, but some stuff has these little pop-ups that like explain things. So that's new, and it's going to make it easier to learn the game if you've never played it. Right. So in terms of stuff that we really have changed quite a bit, one of the things is Powertrains. Now I think do I have any money? I've also changed the economic model, and it's a bit harder now. Make powertrain, that's all very well. Make engine, make starter motor. Okay, so I'm going to... Can I afford these? What did I just put down? Starter motor, make engine, and make starter motor. Quite expensive. So what I've just done is I've put down some stuff that hasn't been in the game before. So previously what would happen is you would kind of fit the engine in the car, which doesn't make any sense. Normally an engine is constructed and then it's sort of married with the car, as they say. So what we've got now is we've got a slightly different system. We don't have flywheels, but we still have valves. I think they're still called valves. So we have, for example, a starter motor being made here from basically steel. That should change. We should change that. And I have a new upgrade that I've done here called Stop Start Engine, which is apparently what they call them. And you would have thought they'd have a more exciting name, maybe. But these are the kind of engines that when you get the traffic lights, they just stall automatically, and then they kick back in when you hit the accelerator, so that they're not idling all the time, which is a fairly recent thing-ish. So you can research that now. I've researched it, and if I buy it, you see that I have to put little microchips in with each starter motor. The starter motor is not really the starter motor, it's like the whole engine management system, or engine control unit, which is why it includes microchips. Now we have a whole new system here, which is interesting, because if we have that upgrade, then when we create engines, where do they go? They end up here, don't they? There you go. That's not just a starter motor, that is a starter motor, and you can see it being taken away there, with a new capability, and that capability is Stop Start Engine. And this is completely new, and I think this is going to change the game a lot and make it a lot better, because that means that you can create subcomponents that have upgrades in them. So I'm not just making starter motors, I'm making starter motors with Stop Start Engines. And over here we've got new robots as well, so much is going on. So here is an engine assembly being made, and that takes in valves and it takes in engine blocks. I haven't got the final graphics for engine blocks, and it will make an engine assembly. The engine assembly and the starter motor get put together here with a transmission, which is another new thing, and that then makes a powertrain. Now that powertrain, which looks a lot like an engine, I mean, here they are, that will inherit all of the upgrades that you've put into its components. So if I look here, you can see powertrain being fitted, powertrain being fitted, powertrain being fitted. It's a bit of a bottleneck, which is why I've got 3. and you'll see that these are just ordinary powertrains here and here. But here, this is up here. If I hover over them, you can see that these have the stop-start engine feature. So if I look at a car, they haven't actually been used there. They've been using the old ones, but depending what car we get, they should end up with a stop-start engine attached to them. They're not using it yet. They're still using old ones because they got like a combination here. I want to be able to demonstrate this feature. Oh, hang on, now that's not got an engine fitted yet, is it? Might have to come back to that because it's still, I think, using old engines. I know it works because I've seen it work. Let me just see if that could speed this one up. No, that hasn't gone on there either. How many have they got? That should be getting that fitted. It's typical, isn't it? Typical. Oh, hang on, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah, stop-start engine. So here you go. So this car has a feature that that car and this car don't have because it's using components that I've upgraded here. Eventually, if we make enough of these things, they will all get that capability. Anyway, so this is a new thing because the idea is you now have kind of two production lines. You have the production line for the car, and then you have like this little mini one here, which goes make starter motor, make engine assembly, combine them to make powertrain, then fit the powertrain. And I quite like that, and I quite like the idea of expanding upon that a lot more as well. Anyway, so that's a new thing. This is one of the reasons old save games are screwed, because you have stuff about fitting engines and making flywheels, and we don't do that anymore. And I tried to make it work with older save games, but it's a complete mess. So we've had to change it, but this is a much better system, trust me. Some of the other stuff we've done is some routing changes, which I won't bore you with demonstrating, but basically if you have a supply stockpile, and let me show you one if you're not familiar. Here's one just with like servos, and these servo motors are being used over here to fit electric windows. There we go. So that is a window fitting thing that has the electric window upgrade. So previously, if you changed what was required here, you got into a huge graphical mess. But now, if I change it, it will actually remove them. Hooray! And what should we add? Just add windows, even though I'm making them locally, so it doesn't make any sense. So there you can then see the windows all coming in. And they're being imported from here. That doesn't actually make any sense for me, because you can see here with all these piles of glass and the sort of window cutting machines that I'm actually making the windows really close to where I'm fitting them, which is how I've got a kind of decent throughput of cars. Anyway, so that's new fixes that have gone in, which I'm very pleased about. We've changed so much has happened. And also I went to Res, I'm a bit hyper. Anyway, other stuff. We have changed the economic model because it was shit. It wasn't good enough, frankly, because it became very, very hard to make money in the late game, and I didn't want that. So basically now, if you look at a car design, so we've only got one car design, one model, and that is the Mark 1 Leetness at the moment, which is this kind of like body style. We've got all these features that we put in the car, and we charge a different amount for all these features. Now, what's happening at the moment is I'm charging a 10% premium on my car. So basically, you could get a car like this with all the same features for 10% less. But because I'm not selling a vast number, they're kind of slightly rare or quirky or unusual, or I can get away with just charging that 10% markup because they're not that generic. Now, if the plan is, if I research a technology really early, like we've got stop-start engine here, so I'm making an extra $55 per one, because the general market price for them is 551. I'm charging 606, but I could boost that and charge well over the odds, or you know, I could go the other way and kind of effectively lose money on that. That doesn't really mean I'm losing money. It just means I could charge more. But the idea is, if you're really swamping the market with loads of cars and you're a mass market car producer, you won't be able to get away with big premiums. So there's some like micromanagement if you want it, but if you don't, you can just set the price for each kind of model generally. I need to be careful because I don't have that much cash. I don't want to screw this up. So that thing that we had before in the game, if you've already been playing it, where, for example, the value of air conditioning would drop very steadily over time, and rapidly you would start losing money. That's all gone now. The market value for air conditioning will be set by how many car companies are providing air conditioning in their cars. So when it becomes very generic, and loads of people are doing it, that will push down the sort of value of it, and you'll have to optimize your production. And that depends on how much money you make. Basically, if you're running a hugely profitable factory, you'll get more competition. And if you get more competition, that will drive down the prices. So that's all changed. That's changes to the economic model, which I think make it a lot better. And they certainly make it so that you have to keep an eye on how much money you've got and the prices you set and stuff like that. That's a huge change for the better. So, and one of the things that's caused is, if we go in here, there used to be an extra thing for not prices. I've taken out a tab. I can't even remember what it was called now. That's how irrelevant it was. Oh, it's features. It was called features, and it was telling you like the market value, and that's now in here anyway. So like you see, the market value of central locking is $146. That will change over time. I'll worry about that later. That will change over time, but you don't really need to see a huge chart of it, and I can always add it to like a mouse over here or something. So is that everything? So the version that you're looking at here is version 1.15. That's going to be a version that has basically the new economic model and the new kind of engine model in it. I do like the cars close up, they're lovely. I have a slight bug when you zoom out and they flicker. Something I should point out, I'm going to overlay it at this point, I must remember to do this in the video, is what priorities people have. Let me just bring it up on another monitor for me to... yeah. Okay, so we have this vote, and it's on the main menu. If you're in the out, you can only vote if you've got a copy of the game, which makes sense because that's the opinion that I want. So depending how you vote is where I realise I should put my sort of time into working on the game. Everyone wants more car types, they're coming, I'm literally just waiting for art and then to get the art in. So that's a matter of weeks, I hope. Separate engine production line. Tutorial and help. Oh my god! Achievement! Consistent efficiency. This one's actually really hard. Yes! Look at that efficiency. Over 50 for a certain number of hours. It's actually quite hard. It's taken me a while to do that. So tutorial and help is a kind of work in progress. We're getting there. And with the next version, there'll be more options in there. Because I know you want more car types, separate engine production line we've done. And I'm interested to know what people want in terms of, do you want marketing in there next? Do you want quality control in there next? Or do you want a lot more technology and a lot more research and production options? Which I suspect will be quite popular. It's hard to tell. So I think that's it for this week. That's a week's work. It's a damn hard week's work, I can tell you. Because also I went to a show to meet with important people. The last question that I was going to ask is, in terms of going on like Steam's early access, which I want to put it on quite soon, and also GOG, we're going to do that as well. They have like an early access thing, and I want the price to be higher when I do that. So it's currently $12, and I'm wondering about whether or not I should make it $13 next week. It does seem really low when you look at other early access games that are less polished, actually. Really need to fix that bug, it's driving me crazy. Anyway, I'm interested to know what you think. If you bought the game, did you think, wow, that was cheap, or do you think that's about right as a price? Just interested to know, really. And we still, I say this every time, but we really appreciate it when people share news about the game, share videos like YouTube videos, or post them places. That's the primary way in which people are hearing about it, or tell your favourite YouTuber they should be covering this game. We really appreciate that. It's really important. So anyway, that's I'm getting really addicted to it, actually. That's production line for this week. There'll be loads new exciting stuff. Oh look, all our stop-start engines have made it through to Bay 2 there. Excellent. This is Production Line by Positech Games. You can buy it now. It's $12 at the moment. Thank you for watching, and I will see you wonderful, talented people next week.